Lightgates application is a complete management suite that was developed for secondary, primary, and nursery school sector in Africa. If you own a school or you manage a school and it falls within this sector, maybe it's a private secondary school or a nursery school or a primary school, you need to use Lightgates if you're serious about your school. So we are in the 21st century and technology is moving very fast. Every sector of business is being affected very, very fast by technology. This means that if you had a laundry outlet sometime in the 1980s, you're able in today's technology-empowered world to digitize your laundry. Digitizing your laundry could entail having a database of who your customers are, that database being accessible to you from anywhere, even from your home, even when you're not in your laundry outlet, being able to get their names, their phone numbers, the details of the transactions, the clothes that you've cleaned for them in the past, how many times they have patronized you, if you want to do a customer compensation plan, what type of clothes they always bring to you. All these details will be stored in the software that you use to manage your laundry. Even payments. So people who bring their clothes to you for you to dry clean, assuming you own a laundry, of course, when they bring the clothes, you don't just take the clothes and drop, you key it into the system. Keying it into the system makes it safer for you and for them, so their clothes don't get missing. You have an actual database that is easily retrievable at any point in time, wherever you are. Now, this is the case of a laundry owner. Let's come to the case of a hotel owner, a hotelier, someone who is in the hotel, in the hospitality industry. So if you owned a hotel sometime in 1948, maybe you will not have been privileged to have the technology that exists today. But in today's world, you'll agree with me that you can book a hotel in London, even from anywhere. So the moment you arrive in London, you go straight to your hotel. How does that happen? You have a mobile phone. The hotel has a website. You visit the website. You tell them the number of rooms you need, how long you're going to be staying. You are not speaking to a human being. You are completing a form that will use artificial intelligence and have some form of algorithm to report what you have ordered, the number of rooms you have ordered, how many people are coming, do you want any reservations, any food reservations or preferences, whatever you want them to prepare ahead of time. You can even pay for that room through your mobile phone before you arrive the hotel. So once you arrive the hotel, you scan a QR code and you go into your room. This is the case for a hotel owner or a hotel manager. Now let's leave the tourism industry. Let's come to banking sector. So today, you don't need to step into the bank for any transaction. You can actually stay for more than a year or two, or even for the rest of your life without ever stepping foot into your banking hall. How is this possible? Most banks today have a mobile application that allows them to connect with their customers, even without the customers visiting the bank. It is technology that makes it possible. So there is a mobile application, there are ATM machines everywhere. So when you need cash, you don't need to go to the bank to queue up. You go to the ATM machine and you have a card with which you can slot it into the machine, tell the machine the amount of money you have. The machine will communicate through the server, the internet technology, with your bank account and confirm that you have that amount of money. Then the machine will also confirm that itself has that amount of notes to disburse to you. When this confirmation happens, the machine will pay you. And you don't need to, of course, you haven't spoken to any human being throughout this process. And this whole thing happens in less than a split second. So now, these are clear examples of how technology is changing today's world. Now, let us bring it down to the business of the day while we are here, which is the education sector. If you attended a university, you know by now that your entry exam your entry results, your school fees, and your location. Everything that had to do with your higher education was done from a computer, over the internet. You paid your school fees over the internet. You registered your courses over the internet, downloaded your course syllabus, and all that. So now we are talking about the secondary school sector in particular. How do you think that technology today is affecting secondary schools, primary schools, and nursery schools? So if you own a secondary school in today's tech-empowered world, you need technology for a number of things. In the first instance, you need technology to maintain a proper database of who are the students attending your school. And this database can be collected on the spot when the children or when the students or when the pupils are enrolling at your school. As a matter of fact, this enrollment can be done from your website. You need a school website. A school website does not only inform the public about the location of your school, the classes available, the entrance requirements, the school fees, and all that. It does more than that. In today's tech-empowered world, your school website is like your school. As a matter of fact, there are schools that are going on perfectly with their online learning. During the COVID-19 outbreak, a lot of secondary schools were using some form of digital technology, some form of school portal to connect their students and their parents. Parents were able to pay school fees through the website. The students were able to connect using either their parents' gadgets or their own gadgets. They were able to connect and actually receive lessons, video lessons like the one we're having now, or even learning materials were able to be uploaded on the school portal, and the child, using a dedicated username and password, login credentials, each student would be able to log into his or her own class, see the assignments that the teachers has given, actually respond to them. Some of the questions could be computer-based questions that you answer there and then using your tablet or your computer system or your laptop or whatever device you have or the student's parents have provided for him or her. Now, this is another aspect that technology is affecting education. Now, let us talk about school fees payment. In today's world, I already mentioned the banking sector and how technology is helping them improve their services, reduce crowd and queue at the bank, and make life more convenient for the customers. Nobody needs to go to the bank anymore these days unless you don't own a mobile device, or you own a mobile device and you haven't downloaded your bank's application. Because if you have a mobile device and you have downloaded the bank app and it has been activated for you, you can perform any transaction to any tune from your mobile device, from the comfort of your living room. You don't need to step foot into the bank. So now what Lightgates has done is that it has taken that convenience that is already working for the banking sector and has integrated it for the school sector, which means if you own a school, you don't need to make your parents go to the bank anymore to pay you. All you need is to make them download an application called Lightgates. Once they download the app called Lightgates Educational, they can actually pay you your school fees from the app. And not just paying you your school fees, you can actually connect with them on the level of results checking, which is another aspect of how technology is affecting education in today's secondary, primary, and nursery schools. Now, let me talk a little about online results checking. So, back in the days when paper was the ink thing, paper is no longer the ink thing now. As a matter of fact, most schools have phased out paper results. So then we used to look forward to a paper called our term results at the end of the term or at the end of the session. This paper will show the child's performance and everything about what the child has achieved for the term. Today, schools are no longer using paper to issue results. what they are doing now is digital result issuing. Digital result simply means that at the point when the child has finished his normal classroom work and has submitted his work, the teacher evaluates the work, and instead of writing it down on a piece of paper called a result booklet, the teacher opens the application on his or her mobile device or even a computer system that is available in the school and keys in the continuous assessment results. Once he keys it in, he saves it. When you do another continuous assessment, the teacher does the same. If you have 20 teachers teaching 20 subjects in your school, each and every one of them has access to the computer lab, and they go there and upload their results. Once the results are uploaded, the school admin has the opportunity from his or her own device to approve this result. If he does not approve it, it will not go public. The school admin needs to click on a button called approve the result, make public. So making it public doesn't mean that everybody will be seeing every child's result. No, it means that each and every parent whose child has that result can log in from his own device using a dedicated username and password that is best known to him or her. And from the comfort of his office, from the comfort of his home, even if he is not within the country, wherever he is, he will be able to view the child's result without touching any paper. It is so convenient, it is so fast, and it is so cool. So nobody bothers to even collect paper results anymore. So it has phased off the cost of printing result booklets. It has phased off the cost of maintaining them, stacking them up in shelves. If you have run your school for like 10 to 15 years, you most probably have over 2,000 students who have passed through your school. So you don't need to maintain 2,000 result booklets on your shelf. All these things are neatly stored away in your school portal. Now, there are two ways you can get a school portal, but we'll come to that. Let's continue looking at the other aspects that technology is affecting education today, especially the secondary, primary, and nursery sectors. So I've talked about school fees payment, how it makes it easy and convenient for parents to pay school fees to their wards' school fees from the comfort of a mobile application. I've talked about how it has helped in learning during the COVID-19 era, where students were not allowed to be physically present in the schools or colleges. They were able to connect from the comfort of their homes through devices that their parents provided for them, internet access. They were able to connect and actually continue learning. Then I also talked about results. After learning, they were able to get their results online without going to the school to get a paper. Then I also talked about tests, computer-based tests. So if the teacher has finished delivering courses or lectures for the day or for the week or for the semester or for the term, the teacher is able to set some questions called a test or an assessment and actually submit it on the platform and allow these students or pupils, as the case may be, to respond to these tests from their own side. And when they respond to this test from their own side, the teacher can also evaluate this test from his or her own device and grade them. And the results will be easily accessible from the parent side. It's like a two-way thing between the school and the parents, the school and the students, and so on. Now, I want to talk about the attendance feature. So if you have kids that are in secondary school, maybe they're in boarding house or they are grown and they go to school by themselves. Now, there's no way to know whether they actually enter classes when they get to school. So we've had cases where a child was not attending classes and the parents didn't know, and at the end of the term, the result didn't come because he didn't get the minimum attendance percentage that was required for him to actually sit for the exams, and the parents were completely unaware. So such a situation can no longer happen now if a school imbibes technology. So what technology does is it allows the teacher at the beginning of each lecture, simply from a mobile device, to collect attendance. So that attendance is uploaded in real time. So the parents will immediately know that my child is in physics class right now, or my child is in numeral or algebra class or French class, whatever the classes are. So every teacher in the school has their own app in their phone, the same app, but it has different dashboards. So the teacher is able to log into her own dashboard, the school owner has his own dashboard, the parent has his own dashboard. So the student dashboard is same as the parents' dashboard because the students are actually under the guardianship of the parents. So whatever device the students uses to access the application needs to be supervised, monitored by the parents. That is why the student's dashboard is same as the parents' dashboard with the same username and password. Now, you see how technology has improved attendance. So in real time, suppose that parent is working in the office, maybe he's out of town, wherever he is at the moment. Immediately the teacher uploads the attendance for this particular period or for this particular hour or lecture. The parent sees it. The parent can check that attendance as often as possible. You can check it on a daily basis, you can check it on a weekly basis to keep tabs on what is going on in the school. Because once you are not able to follow what your child is doing in the school, it means you need to go there yourself. But if you have a device, an application, a software that you have in your phone that makes it feel as if you know everything already that is going on in the school, that is wonderful for parents who are busy. And you agree with me that in today's fast economy, parents do get really busy, and some of them are not able to keep up with monitoring what goes on at their children's schools. So this application is bridging that gap. It's helping the parents to keep tabs. Now that is about attendance. Now, what about events that go on in the school? Sometimes there are class debates, there are quizzes, excursions, and all that. Now, there is a feature in the software, in the Lightgates software, that allows the teachers and the school admin to upload pictures and videos of events going on in the school, class by class. So it is quite different from what you can do with other messaging apps. Messaging apps cannot allow you or will not allow you to categorize the pictures by folders and by event names and tag them so that the actual parent, for instance, if I have a child in grade 4 and grade 4 has done an excursion to the airport today, while grade 5 has done an excursion to the zoo. So from my Lightgates app, I can log into the dashboard and I'll see the different excursion pictures categorized by class. So I don't see that of grade 5 if I don't have a child in grade 5. So that's perfect, it's that organized. So only the parents whose children are in that class where the teacher has uploaded that result gets to see the events that have gone on, that have transpired in the school for that day or for that week or for that session. Now, imagine the beauty of this, because most schools don't allow parents in during school hours. Now, this is the only way you can keep tabs of what actually your child's performance is. You can actually watch your child presenting his or her own debate as it was going on. This is a lovely feature. The alternative would have been that the same pictures would have been shared to you via other means like your popular messaging platforms. The only challenge is that those platforms will not categorize it for you, and those platforms will make it tedious for the teacher to message each and every parent privately with their own specific child's pictures. But this software has made it so easy. So the teacher is already assigned to the class. So the teacher for grade 4, for instance, cannot even upload pictures for grade 5. So whatever you are uploading is for that specific class and to be consumed by people who have the specific privilege to consume that information. This is another way that technology is permeating the educational sector. Now, what about things like dictionaries and games? So we have this literary drawback today. Children are reading. When they read, they don't have any means of checking up meanings of words unless they own or their parents has bought a actual dictionary for them. Now, what about a situation where the child, from the comfort of the device that the parents have provided him or her, is able to look up the meanings of words in real time? So there is a dictionary feature that is included in the application, as well as educative games, but these are just side value-added services. Now let's get to another interesting feature of the software Lightgates. So for the school admin now, you have lots of teachers, and of course, sometimes it's quite difficult to maintain physical paper files. Yes, we know that we have seen some schools that they don't have organized folders where they keep their staff information. But this software is affording you that feature. So you can actually enter all the details of your teachers as they come, as you employ them. You enter their salary, grade, the classes they are going to teach, and everything about them. So the teachers have their own dashboards. And now, from your own side as a school admin, you can actually schedule their salary and pay them from the Lightgates software. So the same convenience that parents are enjoying by not going to the bank to pay you your school fees is the same convenience that you, the school owner, will enjoy by not going to the bank to pay your staff school fees. Why? Because you have already entered their information in the software. The software already knows the pay grade of every teacher, and when you are ready to process your salary, it's just a button away and you have paid your salary. All of them get their credits in their bank accounts, and you get your receipt. And now this is the beautiful part. When you don't have a digital record like this, if you walked or you actually drove to the bank to pay your staff salary, where is the record? You have a paper or a teller. You have to get back to the office and you have to pin it somewhere, and then it's going to get missing after 5 years. You don't remember how much you paid in November 1995. But what about a software that remembers? Lightgates is going to remember it for the rest of your school life. As far and as long as your school exists, this software is going to be there for you for your payment of staff salary. So all you have to do is to include the teachers' names and their pay grades and allow the software to push the money to them. Of course, you are going to fund it. You're going to fund the payment, but the organizing and the sorting is what the software does for you, and the storage, the information storage, and the ease of retrieval. Imagine that you are in your living room, you're discussing something, and you just wanted to refer back to how many staff you had, how much you've paid out in the past 1 year, and how much you are owing or so. So you just pull out your mobile phone, open your Lightgates app, go to your teachers section, go to the salary section, and you have all the records for as far back as possible. This is one other way that technology is helping secondary schools today. Now, what about the other feature that has to do with the fact that every user of this software can actually market what they do? Now, this is a mind-blowing feature. So if you own a school and you have teachers and you also have parents who have brought their kids to the school, there's a feature in this application that allows the parents and the teachers and even yourself to put up adverts of what you do. It doesn't have to be related to school. As a matter of fact, there is a strict restriction, no school-related advertisements, because there are lots of other schools that are using the software to manage their schools. Now, imagine that you are able to put up an advert. Let's say you are into events planning, or you are into decoration, or you are an architect, or you are an engineer, or whatever you do. There's a small platform inside this application that helps users to connect with other users worldwide. So imagine that someone is using Lightgates to manage his school in Lagos State, Ikorodu, and another person is using Lightgates to manage his or her school in Benin, Edo State. So a parent in that school in Lagos State has put up an advert and says, oh, I do events and I can travel anywhere. You can contact me, this, that. So every user of Lightgates can see that advert. So the software doesn't allow schools to put adverts that relate to trying to woo students or parents to their schools. It's not allowed. You can only put up adverts about what you do. So it's going to also help you reach out. It's going to help you earn some passive income. So this is one cool feature about this application. The idea is simple. This software is available for the public. It has been developed and it has been launched, and it is available for your consumption. So what I want you to do, if you are watching this and you have a school or you know someone who has a school, refer this software to them. Ask them to try it out. It has multiple. I haven't even finished going through all the features it has. What about the messaging feature? It has a whole complete messaging platform within the application. So you don't ever need to use any other messaging platform if you don't want to. As long as it concerns your school, as long as it concerns your chat groups, creating groups, sharing information, chatting with this teacher chatting with the other teacher, exchanging information, it is right there in the software. So what I want you to do now is to go straight to your Play Store, download the software called Lightgates Educational. Download that software, and also if you don't have Play Store or App Store, just go onto the web and type in www.lightgates.app. Lightgates is spelled light as in the correct spelling of light, L-I-G-H-T, gates as in the correct spelling of gates, G-A-T-E-S. So the web address is www.lightgates.app. Get on that platform, sign up your school, register your school. There is just a simple step where you have to register your school. Once you have your school registered, you can now add your students, add your teachers. Once you add your students and teachers, you assign them to the actual classes where they are supposed to be, and you start using technology to improve your activities in your school. So I wish you all the best, and in our next video we're going to look at how exactly you should go about this onboarding process. The onboarding process you need to do it very carefully. So I'm going to explain to you what you should be aware of while you're registering your school on the platform. So thank you very much for listening, and have a good evening.